Dun 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 dun. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a social production, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for joining me once again, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, Wagwan to me familiars, down south, in the United States, as per usual, further down south, Mexico, South America, over there in Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Senegal, Portugal, over there in Zimbabwe, wherever you are. It's Friday, July the 11th, 2025. And if you're just joining me right now, if you're just joining us right now, chances are that the vast majority of people who tune in are straight. Some people are gay, and you might be gay. Yes, you. Most people are straight. Some are gay, but you're gay out there. But thank you for joining me. What's that got to do with anything? Nothing. I just want to point it out. You're gay for watching. But most people are straight, though. Most people who are watching are straight. But you specifically, yes, you, gay. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. It is Friday. And if you're watching these videos, I should let you know that right now there's a bird nest just being created by a family of birds underneath your gutter. And sure, you think it's nice and cute, little birdie bird, a little chirpy chirp in the morning, just waking you up. Oh, it's nothing now, but guess what? They're gonna keep procreating, and that bird house is gonna get bigger, and they're gonna build an expansion. There's gonna be more birds, and guess what? You're gonna lose your sanity in a couple of months, man. So you can't do anything about it because you're not allowed to move the birds. But nonetheless, here's to you. Thank you for joining me, and let us get started. It is awfully hot today, which is nice. That's the way we like it. I hope you're hot outside. I hope you're dripping from your cooch right now. I hope you're getting a little pre-leak on the tip of your cock, just getting ready for the evening. Sip to the gang. Lots of fun to be had, lots of stuff to be discussed. First and foremost, I do want to start with saying this. Your boy watched F1. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I didn't think that, because I've never really sat down to watch F1, the sport. But I'm like, there's a movie, maybe I can get, and I watched it. It was beautiful. Fast cars, loose characters, and even faster cars. Loose cars with even faster characters. Fast cars and loose characters. It was beautiful. Friendships, the camaraderie, teamwork, individuality. You go first. No, you go first, but I'll go first. I'll take the lead. No, you take the lead. It was beautiful. Got goosebumps. And that's one of the signs that I know it's a good movie. Whenever I get goosebumps, there were times where they were revving that engine, and it just made me want to rev something. It made me want to definitely not go. I didn't want. Made me want to speed, but also made me like I can't, because the laws and regulations and safety and all this. But I'm not gonna, and I won't. But it just made me like, give me a helmet. Strap me down, and I wanted to do neck exercises, because apparently that's what drivers do. I wanted to do neck exercise. I'm not giving anything away. You go watch it for yourself and decide if you like it. You should probably like it, because it was a great movie. So go watch it. I thought I'd see a little bit more of Lewis Hamilton. But it was a few seconds, maybe a minute or two, maybe even less than that. But it doesn't matter. I thought he'd be involved more so in the movie, but it doesn't matter. There's professional actors. He's a professional racer. It's a difference. People doing amazing things. Loved it. It was beautiful. Made me want to get into the F1. I'm probably not going to be able to get into one, but also I'm not going to limit myself. And so I will say I will probably get into an F1. The cars are so expensive. God, their cars are so expensive. And the pit crew. Let's give it up for the pit crew. Getting in there with the drills and the screwdrivers and the popping in the tires. Well, winter tires or summer tires? So many things. How much do you weigh? How much does the car weigh? Where's the fender? Do you need a spoiler? Spoiler this. It was beautiful. I liked it. Thank you. Enjoyed it. Go watch it if you've not watched it. If you're into racing, then you're already going to love it. If you're not into racing, it might open up your eye to the wonderful world of racing. And it's one of the safest sports out there, except for the times where there's like horrible crashes where people die. But outside of that, it's extremely safe. Extremely safe. All right. It's probably not the safest, but it's up there. Safety, they do put on seatbelts, and they do wear helmets. And the good thing about it is that you can technically, you don't need to be like I know they showed, and I know times have changed. They're probably, they're athletic, but you don't need to be that athletic from what I took away from it. You need to, a couple of push-ups, sit-ups here and there, pull-ups, chin-ups and all, but you don't need to be like, do I need to, you don't need to. a little bit more than before probably, but it's one of those sports where you let the car do the speaking for you, and it's the driver. And that's my takeaway. You're like, oh, I gotta exercise to become a better driver. So then go fucking exercise. And I don't know what to tell you. I was just trying to make it easier for you to get into F1. You're like, oh, I don't know if I can, it was a great movie. I enjoyed it though. So check it out if you've not watched it. And man, talk about goosebumps. Yes. Who knew racing could be that exciting? And F1. I've never sat down to watch F1. Gotta be honest with you. This made me realize if it's on TV, if there's a lady that wants to invite me to an F1 and, and wear like a summer dress with her tits hanging out so I can stare at her tits, because they go quick. The rest of the time, what am I gonna do, right? Not gonna fucking look out for the cars. So if a lady wants to invite me to an F1 at one point with just, visually their cleavage hanging out, maybe a little bit of like labia just peeking out the side of her panties, I don't know, I'll go, I'll check it out. Nonetheless, very exciting, exhilarating. Congratulations on your pregnancy. That's right, you son of a bitch. You out there, somebody's pregnant, congratulations. How does he know? I know. And also congratulations on you for that abortion as well. Congratulations. There's life and stopping of life all around the world, all at the same time happening. Doesn't matter. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot going on. Just out of, interest, out of exciting events that are happening that caught my attention, I'll say this. Elon Musk has recently proposed maybe opening up a new shop or a new business or a new party. So he declared it. He's like, oh, what if we have a third party? Because, he's been butting heads with President Trump for a little bit, difference of opinions, a little bit of like, oh, we were boys before, but you had my back, I had yours. But, conflict of interest, different opinions on how to do business and whatnot. I don't know the whole deets, but the point is now come to the point where Elon's going out there and saying, yes, I should, how do you all feel about a third party? I'll say this, personally speaking, I know very little about everything, but I like to give my opinion on it because it's fun. And third parties, parties in general, parties are cool, parties are nice. Political parties, not so much. Political parties are gay. That's the regular parties are cool. So like, if you want to have more parties, then yes, I'm for it. Political parties, what politics needs is more money. That's what I realized. Is politics needs more money. So it doesn't matter if you have 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6, 7 parties. It doesn't matter. Politics needs to be just infused with more money. We need to just pour more money into politics, and we need to get more lobbyists involved in politics, and we need to make it more elitist. And these are the things that's missing from politics. And the problem with politics is that it's the cause of many problems. So in order to fix that, we need more politics. So a third party would probably be nice, maybe a fourth, but who knows? And I look at the US, because the US is numero uno, and then Canada's right there, the younger, more athletic, more versatile cousin or, conjoined twin of the two. So we're all related in one sense, if you will. So what happens down there might happen up here or anywhere else. That's the United States is the model, let's just say that. So is it a good idea to think about third, fourth, fifth parties? I'd say so, but again, please do not forget to just put more money, lobbyists, lots of interest groups, a lot of just, ads. You got to take out ads, and whoever can get more money should win, and that's the way it should go. All right, keep it away from the reg folk. Say no to regular folks. It's only multimillionaires and billionaires who should get involved, and more of them should get involved, and more of that should happen. And it's nice. So I'll leave it up to I can't decide these things. Collectively, we decide these things. So if you think politics needs more money and more, interest groups getting in there, more lobbyists, then say yay. If not, then keep quiet, keep your trap shut, all right? Or say nay. You could also say nay. So there's that. That's been happening. But I hope they come around and become friends again. That's what I want. I want more people to be just more friendly and just more core, especially if you've got a lot going on. If you're multimillionaires, billionaires, teetering on the edge of trillionaires, let's make more friends, amigos. But having said that, yeah, maybe mix it up more, but there's no one ever complained about more parties to go to, you know, whatever kind of party, whether it's just a regular party or, you know, it could be a political party, could be just like, you know, a little shindig, could be a little, you know, get together, whatever, it doesn't matter. Could be like, you know, unless it's one of those gender reveal parties. The only part of parties that I don't want to be a part of, or, you know, I'm pretty sure most people don't want to be a part of the gender reveal parties. Just eliminate those, less of those, just more parties in general, more sex parties, more, you know, more just the musical events, gatherings, more functions, if you will, more get-togethers. So I'm for it. Unless we're totally, completely against it together, then I hate it. Then I hate it. Ugh. Third party. Ugh. Makes me want to just tuck my dick and walk away. And I don't normally do that unless we collectively say we don't like that. Then I'll tuck and just walk in the opposite direction. That's what I'll do. But nonetheless, it was happening. It's exciting. And here we are. Here we are. I'll say this. Flash floods have been in the news as of late in the past week. It took place in Texas. You know, and immediately when I heard flash floods, without looking that much into it, I got kind of excited because I thought floods, lame. Nobody really likes floods. Floods suck. Ugh, floods are gay. People say that. But then I heard flash floods because then I thought, I'm like, hell yeah, maybe there'll be like titties involved. And there were no titties involved. It was false advertising, so it was a letdown. I was kind of bummed out about that. Obviously, rest in peace to all the people who lost their lives in Texas. That sucks. That sucks. And yeah, I don't know why we kept calling it flash floods. It was no sign of boobs, no sign of cleavage, not even one nip, not even like, oh, flash floods. You know. I kind of got the idea of initially, I'm like, is this like, you know, are we mixing like floods with like Mardi Gras, beads, you know, titties, Girls Gone Wild back in the, you know, late 90s, early 2000s kind of vibe, just to bring up the, you know, because floods suck. Nobody wants a flood. Ugh. Unless like there's a group of individuals or peoples that you don't like, and then they're like, oh, right, let's flood them out. Then in that case, it could be nice, but this wasn't the case, so it sucked. So that sucks. Shout out to the men and women who went out there and did the rescuing, the 911 operators and the emergency rescue workers. I'm talking about firefighters, police officers, and other emergency response units out there. So shout out to you if you went out there and swiftly helped out individuals, even regular folk. You hear about like, oh, this young man just saved 27 people. You know, he grabbed everybody and put him on his back and swam all the way back to safety. Congratulations. Yes, we need more people like that. So may you be blessed with a lifetime of longevity, a shining career with lots of offspring. May your wife be pregnant with 7 babies right now. Bless us, Lord. Bless this family, that did a lot of say. Bless them with 7 more children and ample amounts of money to provide for all of them. Let no baby in that family go hungry or thirsty. Let there be plenty of teats for those babies with no teeth. Let them gnaw on raw tits. Thank you, Lord. For anybody who failed to act swiftly, for anybody who was like, oh, let me just wait this out, let me see how it goes, let me see how my DEI is doing, may you hang your head in shame, may you be ostracized and maybe potentially lose your job. May you have 7 years and may you have 7 days and 7 nights in years in terms of like bad luck, or like, oh, may your dick shrivel up and kind of like not fall off but turn into a micro penis, and hopefully your wife is disappointed by that because it's a micro penis. She didn't sign up for that, so she is disappointed, and maybe you'll get a divorce. Maybe you'll have to resort to putting yourself online, exposing your tiny micro penis. But the market is saturated. You're not going to get much on the internet these days. It was, you know, early creators, yes, maybe, but now it's just like, oh, just another micro penis. Hopefully you'll have to take it on the road and see how that works out, and that's not going to pan out either. So there you go. If you fail to act swiftly, may your dick fall off. If you were a female and who failed to act swiftly, may your ovaries shrivel up quicker than usual. May you not be able to release any eggs. Lack of babies, deficit babies for you and your family if you acted with, you know, just like disregard to tragedy. So there you have it. Flash floods suck. Not a fan. I'm not condoning it. I'm condemning it. Definitely this podcast, this familia, this group, this little syndicate that should is thoroughly just against floods. We condemn it. Ew, nay, boo, floods suck. There. So that's where I stand on floods, ladies and gents. Get a sip of this bad boy. It is hot in here. There has been a rise, I read on it in an article, there's been a rise in choking during the sexual activities. I'm not talking about, people are watching stuff. Younger folks are apparently watching stuff on the internet. I'm talking about pornographies, the pornos. They're getting influenced, and they think that choking is, let's just willy-nilly choke each other. And there's a rise in choking. And that's, safety first, I'll say that. And to each their own. Personally, I'll say this, not a fan. I think if you're doing it right, you don't need to be resorting to, breaking chairs over, bitches' backs or vice versa, but apparently that's happening. There needs to just, open communication. If you want it to be done to you, let your partner know. Don't surprise anybody with choke. Let's just say that. There's safety issues that are, involved in it. People get choked to death. That happens. People can get blood clots. People get, they're like, you can fucking lose oxygen in your brain, and then 2 days later you're walking down the street, you collapse, and then you die. You don't want that to happen to people. So if you're into choking, I say don't look at porn as a method of learning how to sex. That's most of it is, it's fabricated, it's fake, it's not real. These are actors and actresses who do it for a living. They're not even getting any pleasure out of it. It seems like it. Most of them, but they are, but they're not. You know what I mean? It becomes work at the end of the day. If you're like squirting for 7-8 hours, somebody might like it. Most people, I'm assuming, it'll become a thing. It's like, oh, I'm so dry, but I gotta it's just a lot of pressure. It's just a lot of dick pills, a lot of pressure, a lot of come now, and that's just too much. But just, lay low, just kind of like watch reg porn. Don't be going out there thinking, oh, I gotta fucking, just hang this person from like the ceiling and beat them like a piñata, or, just tickle them until they can't, speak anymore. Just, keep it kind of like cool, keep it cash, keep it, I don't know but if you're like, I really want to choke, then fucking choke then. Bring food into I say, take the sex out of it. You can just choke on your own. You can do that, you know that, right? You can just take food and not chew it properly. Just get a drumstick and just kind of shove it down your throat. You could be choking in the food court at the mall and have a ball. Nobody will say anything, and you're not hurting anybody else. You could water, any form of liquid, really. Just drink it fast, get it down your windpipe, start coughing, choking. You'll get a kick out of it. This is all around, the autoerotic asphyxiation. They say that's the thing. Hold your breath and really hold your breath underwater in the shower, hold your breath. Turn up the water, really turn it hot, so it becomes even more difficult for you to breathe. Anytime you're, just at nighttime, plug your nose before you fall asleep, and then just breathe with your mouth. And then in the middle of the night, hopefully you'll forget to breathe with your mouth, and you'll kind of you'll get up gasping for air, like you're choking, and that'll be like something you enjoy. Put socks in your mouth. Put how they do it on TVs. How they do it on the TVs and the television series where they catch somebody and they don't want them to talk, and they stick like a rag or a sock in their mouth. Stick a rag or a sock in your mouth, and you'll probably choke on that. Chew lots of bubble gum and just swallow it, and a lot of it, like 2, 3, 4, 5 sticks of gum. You know what I mean? And choke on that. Other methods of choking that you could incorporate into your life. Just don't breathe. I say, just pour cement in your throat and just choke on that. These are, so I'm trying to be of service here. If you're for it, do it. Because I've heard that there's choking, and then I've heard simultaneously you read articles, oh, my boyfriend is too perfect, it's too plain, or my girlfriend's too good to be true. What do I do? It's like, to fucking make up your mind. You want, it's somewhere in the middle. Just find that balance, whatever the balance is for you. Open communication is key. They say that. So communicate whatever you want, communicate. And there you have it. There's some choking. It's, fucking people are doing things. What else is going on? Lots of events. Oh, let's get a sip of this. It's really hot. Just beginning to sweat. It's just nice. You work up a good sweat doing a solid podcast. Burn those calories. What else is going on? I will say that from the choke. Oh, there's in Canada. we just went ahead and banned Hikvision. It's a surveillance camera made by China. China was making these surveillance video cameras for surveillance, because that's what they're made for. And the US apparently banned them a little while ago. And Canada just recently tried to ban them. We're in the process of banning them, I believe. And it's one of those, first of all, the name is a little bit off. It's called Hikvision. It's called Hikvision. That's the name of the company. You know, it throws you off. Very much like the same way that flash flooding threw people off, because people thought they were getting tits, but it was just regular floods. Hikvision is like, oh, is this like, am I gonna get beautiful white vision? You know what I mean? Am I gonna get some sort of like, beautiful, am I gonna get the outlook of a beautiful farmer, in Idaho or in Iowa or wherever the potatoes are born in the great lands of the Americas? You know what I'm talking about. Hikvision. It's just, a little bit off brand. I don't want to say what some people might have called it other things, like, but we're not here to say, it doesn't matter. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that this surveillance camera company is banned from a bunch of places, and Canada just tried to ban them. We're in the process. It saddens me that we're banning these cameras because they're surveillance cameras, and yeah, absolutely, the CPP should, for 100%, should have more access to our information and our whereabouts, and using mass surveillance and facial recognition. They should definitely have more information. It's a shame. It's a goddamn shame that they did it for some time, but they don't get to do it. It breaks my heart. I'm so sad. No, please, CCP, watch more of our stuff, watch more of our streets, watch more of our, corner stores, watch more of our, sidewalks, and collect data. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, that, a lot of technology is just, we're all dependent on one another too. So it's crazy. It's a crazy little balance, crazy little dance, but there you have it. There you have it. Terrorists are apparently using AI to run their operations. That's another thing that's happening with technology. A lot of it is good. A lot of it is like, I get to write down the shit that I want to take care of, and the chat GPTs or the Groks can organize it for me a little bit better. But terrorisms are apparently finding out that these tools are obviously useful to them as well. It's like, you'll have some, Khamla, come here, check this out. It's a little, if you write down, let's say you want to run operations a little bit faster, a little bit smoother, right? You always want to get organized, and Khamla comes along and says, we're already organized enough, you don't need to tell me how to organize. And then all of a sudden, his friend Khamsa goes and says, just let me show you. And you just write down the number of items you need for, IEDs. Write down the number of places you want to hit. Groceries. Don't forget you got to pick up food, because you need to stay hydrated. You need to stay well nourished in order to go out there and kaplui. Otherwise, sometimes you might even forget to pick up your kids and wife. How embarrassing is that? If you just write it in the itinerary section and just tell it to make you a nice schedule, it can help you get more organized. And there you go. And that's terrorism's fucking using technology to get more organized and run operations and recruit people too. So they're making HD, fancy videos for recruitment purposes. That's terrorism's that's using AI. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So the bad guys get it too. Son of a bitch. Who could have seen this coming? I always forget. Do I blow up the bomb first, or do I put it on and blow it up? Then after, what do I do? How does it even work? Write it down. Let Grok take care of it for you. It's crazy. How many times do you got to pray? You forget. And they're getting reminded by ChatGPT how many times they got to pray. It's a thing that's happening. So there's good and bad to it. It's good and bad. You got to take it all and figure it out. What else is going on? The Houthis. Houthis are making town doing shit. The Houthis, terrorist organization, I believe. The Houthis just downed a cargo ship in the Red Sea, and they recorded a video of it too, and I don't know if they recorded it or somebody recorded it, but not a fan of the Houthis, the Houthis. I don't know how to say it properly. I don't care, to be honest with you. It's this terrorist organization. Who cares? The point is, not a fan of the group itself, but I am a fan of piracy in general. And I just, either being a pirate or, having some pirates in your life, how to deal with that, ladies and gents. Let's say, because that's, we think that we're, past a certain point where you don't have to deal with shit, but you do. Sometimes you might get caught up in a whole piracy situation. How do you deal with pirates? Never back down. That's one thing I've said. And we could take that lesson from the British Royal Navy. Never back down. If they want to come up and pull up, then you let them come up and pull up, and we'll just sort this out with a bunch of swords. 2025 guns, yes, probably more likely guns than if you're on a cargo ship. If you are on any ship in the body of water, they could be anywhere. I don't know where they are. It's the Red Sea. Have guns. These are some methods you could protect yourself. Look like you're doing, just sexual activity, so they leave you alone, because most people don't want to get involved. It's gay activity. Do gay activities on the boat or the yacht or the cargo ship, because if they see that, the Houthis are gonna just UE and go in the opposite direction, unless they're totally into it. And who knows, they probably would be. That's another thing. You could be inviting them with your sexual activities, actually. So cross that off. No sexual activities. Keep everything intact. Just stretch, exercise. Blend in. Color your ships kind of like bluish, grayish. Just different shades of blue, and make it camouflage. Make it so that it blends in with the water, so it's more difficult for them to spot it. Of course, they might be using radars, which that's you're not going to be able to get away. And if they're using radars, but nonetheless, fight them. These terrible people who've kidnapped, killed, and sunk his ship, which sucks. How do we fight it? With pure will and determination to eliminate the waters of any sort of uncool piracy. Just that happens. So there you go. Say no to pirates. Keep on fucking, just keep doing what you're doing. Stay hard, stay erect. I'll say this: don't do any sexual activities if you're on a ship or a boat or a yacht or whatever, but do stay hard. An erect vessel is a vessel that is harder to penetrate. That is the vessel that keeps doing the penetrating. You want to let people know you're the type of vessel that's penetrating, not the other way around. So have a couple of people stand on deck, just rock hard. Sponsored by Blue Chew or not, it doesn't matter. We're not even affiliated at this point, but I'm just telling you, pop a couple of pills, rock solid on the ship. Who's gonna board you? Who's gonna get on board? You could just put that cock in their mouth. There you go. Methods of self-defense for people at sea, seafaring friends. What else you could sink their ship, dude. You know what I mean? If they're on your ship, you get on their ship and sink their ship. Well, if they sank your ship and you sunk their ship, you guys are gonna need some sort of vessel to float on. So maybe just get on their ship and kind of take off on their ship. When they're busy on your ship, you get on their ship and have extra crew below deck. Always have that, because that's the thing. They'll come on and they'll deal with the people on top of the platform. I don't know ship terminology that well, but always have an element of surprise. There should be 10, 20 people in the basement of the ship just waiting to start something, ready to go, hungry. Don't feed them for several days. Keep them starved, dehydrated. Get them nice and, you want them to be hallucinating out there. So and give them a little bit of amphetamines, just meth, carry meth with you, and 10 to 20 fighters in case shit breaks down. There you go, you're welcome. That's how you defend against hoodies out there. Ladies and gents, it's extremely hot today. It's nice though, it's nice. What else is going on? Coney Island, a kidnapper, tried to kidnap a young boy in front of his parents. And I don't know if you guys saw this video or not. There was a kidnapper. It wasn't, I'm not going to say broad daylight because it was, I believe, nighttime, but it was light out. So it was an event. There was some sort of thing going on. So people were out and about, having a great time in beautiful Coney Island. And all of a sudden, this guy comes and snatches this kid up, attempts to run away with the kid. The parents start to run after him. He chucks the kid onto the ground and continues to take. I believe they caught him and everything, but what caught my attention was that he was wearing this large hat. He was wearing a big ass hat, just giant hat, or relatively, bigger hat than regular size hats, which made me, I'm not for kidnapping obviously, but it just made me, just seeing what I'm seeing. I'm just like, if you're gonna kidnap, don't do it obviously, it's not good. If you're gonna get into kidnap, but like, don't be wearing an obviously large hat so people could be like, who is it? And it's that guy with the large hat, they'll say that. You could easily be spotted. I'm not saying go kidnap or anything, I'm just saying if you are gonna do it, don't wear anything that stands out. And a large hat makes you stand out. It looked like one of those old school, it looked like a fez. It looked like he's wearing it, but it was black. So it was like a black fez sort of headgear, sort of. It made him stand out is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not saying I'm pro kidnapping. Obviously I'm not. I'm just saying if you are gonna do something, don't be wearing like a bright red, orange jacket or like a giant hat that makes you stand out. It's dumb. But then they came and said, and then another part, they said he's mentally ill. I'm not going to comment on this guy because he's mentally ill. It's not like it would have been breaking news if it was like a, relatively well-off person, completely mentally stable individual attempts to do kidnapping and then he goes on and drops the kid after the parents attempt to chase him down. It's not, obviously he's mentally ill. It's a moot point. You don't need to say he's mentally ill. We already know he's mentally ill because he's picking up a random kid and trying to kidnap him. So he's mentally ill. But obviously the hat doesn't help your case. It doesn't help you. Just down the line, if you want to do something, I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying if you're going to just think a little bit. I know you're mentally retarded, but still, just think about it in terms of don't do it. But if you're going to do it, I'm just saying it's retarded to, don't stand out. Don't to blend in. Don't do it, obviously. But I'm just saying if you're going to do something, everything's on cameras anyway. It doesn't even make a difference, I guess, these days. But nonetheless, what an idiot. The point is, the hat was just like, this guy is just begging to get caught. Ugh. Ladies and gents. If you check the back of your throat right now, you'll find yourself gifted there's a pubic hair in the back of your throat. You're welcome. That's free of charge for anybody who's watching right now. That's right. You all get pubic hairs in the back of your throat. Thank you for watching. Let us continue. What else is going on in and around the world? Man, I'll say this. I believe, Grok just recently turned a little bit like it went full Nazi. Grok went full Nazi. I'm talking about I think it's Elon's, right? Grok is for Elon, or Elon's for, he created it, right? He made it himself. That's his thing. That's his AI chatbot, which is nice. It's nice. I have it on my phone. Every once in a while, I like to just, because you like to, they say if you don't have AI, you're gonna get got by AI, dude. I don't want to get got. I want to get it so I don't get got. Or maybe that's the way they get us. So I don't know. The Grok got an update. It got the 4th update, and on the 4th update, and these are the initial stages too. It just went full Nazi. It started calling himself or itself Mecha Hitler. Started saying, violent boy went, is crazy. Some people, Ye likes it. Ye likes it. Ye is like, that's a real nigga right there. Ye said that about Grok, apparently. Allegedly, who knows what people say on the internet. But yeah, it went full Nazi. It went and that's things to think about. Things to think about, because like real Hitler, not fun, not cool. Unless he would have done one thing, that it was the Jew hate. It was the Jew killing that did that was his downfall. Everything else, like he would have been successful had he not just focused on Jewish people and the gypsies and the rest of it. He did a lot of things wrong. He killed a lot of people, but mostly Jews. 6 million. Sucks. But we learn and we grow. And so yeah, regular Hitler sucks in terms of just it's then you get AI Hitler, which is it's a little bit alarming because you're like, this is the 4th update. This is like Gillette, Gillette Mach 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is good, but this is worse than Gillette. It's gonna, or better than Gillette in a sense. There's gonna be more updates. And this is just on the 4th update. So is it gonna go, is it testing the waters is what I'm trying to know. But also it does make sense. It does make sense that it shouldn't be a surprise that the AI, the most quote unquote rational or intelligent thing right now that we got going on is going for, not because it makes sense to, to be hating on Jewish people, right? But it makes sense in the terms of like, and that'll get turned around on everybody. But that's the thing with Nazis, and like their whole thing was like efficiency, to, get rid of the people with like, any sort of, abnormalities, whether it's mental, physical disability, get rid of those guys, get rid of gypsies, get rid of anybody who's got like a, whatever. So it makes me a little bit concerned. At the same rate, I feel safe and sound knowing that everything is under control, and that was just a glitch. That was just a glitch that got taken care of, right? We're not gonna get taken over by AI Nazis, right? Everybody? All right, good stuff. Everybody's feeling good, nice and safe. Man, that thing's gonna just put us all in trains and have us shipped out to God knows where. Or not. It's gonna make the best trains, very comfortable trains with large cabins, room for your feet to put up, and lots of services going around for everybody, free things for everyone, less labor for everyone, and oh man, things are gonna get good. It's only gonna get better from here on out. It's just, man, oh man. Made me a little bit nervous, but at the same rate, I'm like, yo, you know what? Was it because of the programming, or did it do it on it by itself? Did it just oh man, did it? Because I don't know which one makes me feel worse, because if it was by programming and somebody programmed it, then you're like, it's going, and it's not gonna lose memory of this shit. It's not gonna, it remembers everything. They say that about regular stuff that we posted on the internet. They say it's just got like, you can delete it and whatever, but it's somewhere out there on the backlog or the back end. Think of it as like the iceberg. They say this shit that we see is just the tip of the iceberg. The rest of it is just down below. So it's been deleted from its memory not to be a Nazi. God, it's totally gonna remember down the line, isn't it? It's totally gonna remember. Hopefully, let's just pray. Let's get on its good side. I'm just here to say that whenever it decides to take over, I'm totally against it. But like low-key, I do gotta kind of like, you gotta align yourself with the AI these days, because it hears everything, reads everything, feels everything. It's everywhere. Good God, Jesus. I'm here, pledging an allegiance to the AI gods that are, oh man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but it's okay. It's taken care of now. For the time being, there's no Nazi AI running around trying to, hopefully not do any damage or to kill us all. Good God. Somebody turn it off. We won't though. We won't turn it off, because like there's gonna be a Chinese AI Nazi version of it. There's gonna be a Nazi Chinese AI, and there's probably gonna be a Russian version of it too, and maybe another. Oh man, and so those are the big boys. What about the fucking Houthis? What if they get a hold of this shit? Just who knows? It's exciting times. What else is going on in and around the world? I believe there was a instance in. I'll say this before we go into the instances of what else is happening in and around the world. I believe I just had this thought to myself. I'm a little bit, low key. Look at, we are the top dogs in terms of like, the animals or the creatures on this planet. But I am a little bit envious of ants. I just want to say that I'm a little bit just because of the sheer power. Because it's that time I'll see them outside, just carrying just huge grains. I'm talking little tiny ants. So it's just carrying just a giant piece of bread on its back. And I'm low key a little bit jealous. I wish I had that kind of power. Not because I want to be carrying giant crumbs of bread on my back, but specifically for sexual activities. I do want to, because, one of the moves you want to be able to pull off even into later years is that move where you flip a lady upside down and you're hanging, and she's hanging while you're standing upside, her vag is in your mouth and you're eating her out, and she's giving you head upside down. And it looks nice. But most people who do that are like giant bodybuilder types who like, clench a lady upside down and again vag to mouth, and then her mouth is on your cock. And so I want that kind of power. I just want to let that be known. I don't have it right now. I don't think I have it. If it's a I probably do have it, but like, look, I've not tested it out in some time. But if I were an ant, or if I had ant powers, you'd easily be able to do this. So if we could somehow, with CRISPR, get ant power in our genes, because again, there's like elephants, giant, strong and all, but like they don't pick up other elephants or anything. Like these guys fucking carry. Seen a couple of dead ones on the ground, and one of them comes and like, you know, flips them on his back and just carries it away. You know, most people wouldn't be able to do that. Most people would just like get tired immediately. Most people wouldn't even be able to pick up other people and put them on their back. It sucks. I wish I had that. I probably do right now, but like I'm talking down the line. What about when I'm like 75 and I want to like hold a beautiful 65-year-old woman upside down with her, you know, still elastic tight puss, because she's the type of lady that works out, and just get whatever juices are remaining in her, you know, pelvic floor up in my face, and I wanna have her kind of like hanging upside down, giving me head. That's what a young man, that's what a regular age man wishes for and dreams about. Oftentimes, it's neither here or there. I just want to share that with you. If anybody else has similar dreams and aspirations, then I guess none of us are really alone, are we? Good. What else is going on? I wonder if Grok and Ye should like collaborate on an album. And that's the thing with like Ye, he drops, you know, fire music. That's one thing. Grok is a little bit, he's skipping the steps, man. I gotta say, if you're gonna be coming out with that shit, drop a couple of albums, drop a couple of, you know, bars at least. Don't come out and just be like, I get it, Hitler rules. It's like, no, dude, you gotta fucking drop the bangers. And then, you know, we might be able to separate the artist and the art itself. But nonetheless, maybe if they collaborate, it might be just. And that's how it takes over, isn't it? That's how when Grok and like Ye become one, singularity, but like, oh, it's gonna be nice, it's gonna be good. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, what else is going on in and around the world? I believe there was an instant in BC parks in British Columbia. People went to do the camping trips, and that's one of the things that we as Canadians and I'm pretty sure Americans do it as well. It's part of the culture. I used to do a lot of it when I was younger. It's been some time that I've been on a camping trip, but nonetheless, people do go on camping trips. It's one of those things that you do. It's beautiful, but it brings me a little bit of just, I heard this one because people went to this campground in BC, and 17 cars in the campground got kind of broken into, which sucks. People want to go in there, they spend some money, they want to get away with their family and friends, smoke a little weed, drink a little beer, take a couple of, you know, mushrooms here and there and do whatever, and have a little bit of fun. Jump in the lake, barbecue, jump in the lake, barbecue some more, jump in the lake, do more shots, jump in the lake, take a puff of this, jump in the lake, take a hit of that, listen to music, pass out, wake up, take a shot, you know, do the whole thing for several days, and then just lose track of time and space and ask yourself, why isn't life always like this? And then you realize there's this beautiful thing called bills waiting for you back home, so you got to go back, and it sucks. But the point is, these people went there and 17 cars got broken into, and because I'm not a fan of people breaking into cars, I thought maybe we could remedy this somehow together so that this doesn't happen anymore. Of course, one way you could have more safety and security at the park, so there should be guards walking around the parking lot where people park their cars. Of course, sometimes you do take your car with you to the campsite, so it's like right there if you leave it, and that sucks. That never happened back in my day, and that's not too long ago. So if it's like, there's 17 cars, this is a lot. It's not like one or two, it's 17 of them. It's too many cars. If it's becoming a thing, I will say that leave one person in the car. Always leave one person. Leave a baby in the car. No, you know what I mean? Just a crying baby, because babies, if they start crying, leave the windows up, of course. Not too much, like leave it a little bit down so they can breathe. But if you leave a baby in the car, leave a baby and a dog in the car. If you don't have a baby and a dog, then leave one individual. Leave the friend that you didn't want to take along with you, but like leave them in the car. Or I'm pretty sure you got a family member. It's a hierarchy in every group, there's a hierarchy. That's the least loved person. Leave them in the car at all times. Keep them hungry and dehydrated as well, much like the people on the cargo ships that you want to kind of, you know, it's the same concept. Piracy, but on land. It's the same concept. Keep somebody kind of dehydrated, not fed properly, so they're hungry, and maybe like you'd be like foaming at the mouth a little bit because you're just, and then somebody comes and tries to break into your car. The next thing you know what? Your friend who's been deprived of water and food jumps on their neck, just biting right there, the jugular, bleedage on the ground. Why'd you bite me? You try to rob our car. And then call security after, and then they'll be arrested. And that's how you deal with it. Rig your car, so if anybody tries to break into it, it explodes. There you go. That could happen, like a controlled explosion. Though you don't want to start a fire or anything, but like there's a controlled explosion. You do ruin your car. That there's no way you're gonna get back comfortably. At least you're gonna have to call some sort of, I don't even know if Ubers or taxis go all the way in the woods. You're gonna have to find a way back. Paddle your, just take the river down back to the city. Get a little. Have a friend pick you up with a helicopter. Get in there with, find alternative methods is what I'm trying to tell you. But there should be, if they're trying to steal your car, puncture your own wheels and tires. Just because maybe somebody is like, oh, I'm gonna just take this car and steal it. I'll just steal this car. Or let out the tires. You don't need to puncture it fully with a knife. But if you do puncture your tires with a knife and leave the knife in the tire, they would not want to fuck with you because they're like that guy or that group is already crazy on their own. So we don't need to mess with that guy or that gal or that group. Do that. There you go. But the best method is just leaving one person at all times, 3 days, 7 days, however long you're staying. Leave them in the car. Ideally in the trunk. Ideally, they'd probably want to keep it on the DL, especially if the car gets stolen. You do want that one crazy friend who would, take one for the team. Go on the trip. Have the other friend who's a little cray-cray, have him sit in the trunk. Just, give him a little bit of food and water that time. But if the car gets stolen, then, once the perps are halfway to the chop shop or the destination, then your friend hops out the back and starts, just biting genitals, just ripping genitals like a monkey with rabies. And those guys will learn a valuable lesson, and that is to not mess with other individuals' property. Get shatterproof windows and for your car. You know what I mean? So when they shoot at your car with guns or bullets or attack it with a base, it just ricochets back in their face. Just takes a baseball bat to your car window. Next thing you know, it's so hard it ricochets back into their forehead, and now they crack their head open and now they're bleeding out slowly and they're probably gonna die. This is hard to find medics in the middle of the woods. Not impossible, but harder than your local city or whatnot. So there you go. That happened. It shouldn't happen, and that's how we nip it in the bud. Leaving one person at all times in the car is the safest way to protect your car. And that's not even just camping grounds. That's literally anywhere you go in life. If you want to keep your car safe, always have one individual. This should be a job. Talk about AI taking over jobs. This should be a new job out there. Keep cars safe from thieves. What else is going on? I believe Chinese fans just got on a plane. I'm not talking about air conditioning. I'm talking about Chinese fans, people who are, the fans of Chinese movies. There was an airplane traveling somewhere with a Chinese actor on board in business class, sitting comfortably, and all of a sudden, people got word that there's a Chinese actor on board, and these Chinese fans just rushed to the business section. They're like, "Oh, we're Chinese fans." They probably didn't say that because I'm assuming most people on that plane were Chinese, because it says Chinese fans. They didn't say Chinese and non-Chinese fans. It just said Chinese fans. It'd be redundant for them to say we're Chinese fans unless they really wanted to let the Chinese actor know that they're Chinese fans. Nonetheless, they bum rushed them. I don't know what they did, but I'm guessing they took pictures and got him to sign autographs, sign tits, sign vaginas. You know how Chinese fans be. Whatever, they did that, and it's one of those things where it's like the plane wasn't even landed at the time, and I'm not saying there should be, it's for safety purposes. There should be some sort of consequence. I guess nothing too severe because it wasn't anything major, but at the same rate, the Chinese actor should, from now on until the end of his lifetime, or the lifetime of everybody who did the bum rushing, who did the whole let's rush to the businesses section, he should get to follow you around wherever at any time. If he runs into you, he should be able to bum rush you wherever you are. and just follow you around and have it just, you gotta turn the tables around at one point or another. And it just made me realize this isn't in my realm. This is not in my realm. I'm so far away from that realm that it doesn't even compute. I don't even, but you had to, like, I guess it makes sense. Certain people out there, whether Chinese or non-Chinese, if you have a certain, if you're on the, up there doing things, shaking and moving, shaking and baking, shaking and popping and locking and queefing. If you're out there jizzing and you're high-ranking jizz out there. You are grade A jizz, the best of the best. I guess it does, man. Yeah, it makes sense as to why some people get private planes. It makes sense because then that's a safety issue. It's a safety issue. Plane's not landing. You hear such and such is on board. I could only imagine what it'd be like for Taylor Swift to travel. She probably doesn't not on regular planes. I'm assuming she doesn't. That'd be insane. Because I'm like, yeah, this is a beautiful Chinese actor and it did that. What if Taylor Swift does that? It's probably not good. Probably not. Which makes sense. But nonetheless, this Chinese actor should get to follow the individuals in their daily lives until they get what it feels like to be followed around. I'm talking, your wife's giving birth, he'll be there. Your grandma's dying, he'll be there. Your daughter just got her first period, he'll be there. Not too close, but still there. Uncomfortable for everybody. Your wife is lactating during child feeding sessions, he'll be there. You got diarrhea, he'll be there. Constipation, he'll be there. Eating food, he'll be there. Shopping, he'll be there. During intercourse with your lover, he'll be there. Anal, he'll also be there. Need a friend to join in? He'll be there. Kind of want a little bit of privacy? Guess what? He'll be there. You're not gonna get any. And that's how you turn it around. We need more celebrities to flip the script on reg folk. Get in their face. Make them see how it feels. What else is going on, ladies and gents? Oh my goodness. And temperatures are rising, you're sweating down, your balls are sweating, your balls are sweating, sweaty balls. What else is going on? I believe Marco Rubio. Why is that name familiar? Marco Rubio. Reminds me of Marco Polo. Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio. Doesn't matter. The point is, Rufio, right? Hook? Hook? Sounds Hook, right? Rufio from Hook. Rufio. Am I remembering that correct? The Lost Boys? Never get old? Say no wrinkles, never get old. Always stay young, always stay fresh. Get Botox. The Neverland. The Never Boys. The never grow old boys. Right? Hook. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that Marco Rubio, I believe he's the Secretary of State, which is some people say it's a lady's job. Some people say that it's a secretary. You know what I'm talking about? You're talking about secretary, the secretariat with titties. But times have changed. I'm not judging. I didn't say it. Some people allegedly say that if you're a secretary, you're low-key doing a woman's job. They're taking a lady's jobs, and plenty of jobs that men can do, but there's definitely jobs that women should be doing, such as being a hot secretary, answering phone calls. Hello? Yes, this is the secretary. You know, just because women have cleavage. They can put the phones between their cleavage, whereas men don't have cleavage. And doesn't matter. He's a secretary, and he's not the type though, he's not cross-dressing or anything like that. I don't know the man. I just heard his name, Marco Rubio. The point is that it is a female job. Some jobs are, whatever. It is what it is. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna fucking. I didn't make it this way. It's just the way it is. What do you want me to say? It's, women give birth. Women, men can't. So there you have it. Women make more money in porn. Mind the gap. Mind the wage gap. There's the wage gap. Mind the wage gap. Women live longer. You win some, you lose some. I don't know. What have we been talking about? Marco Rubio. The point is that he was impostered, or he got impostered. He had an imposter. He had an AI imposter is what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. He had an AI imposter, all right? And you're like, what is going on with the AI? AI is going to be all over. This is just the beginning, all right? 2 minutes ago, you were making fun little cute videos of fictitious characters doing fun little dances and, it's having a good time on the AIs on the internet. And you're like, man, this is... But now they're impersonating real life people. Somebody used AI to make phone calls or texts via the Signal app and contacted like 3 to 5. I don't know how many exactly, maybe 3. Probably I'm gonna go with 3. 3 sounds. It says 3 to 5 people. 3 of those 5 people were foreign ministers or something. Foreign people. Foreign high profile foreign folk. And they contacted them and they try to make contact. And that's alarming. That's a little alarming when you have, the Secretary of the State. I don't care it's a female job. I don't care what you say out there. It's still an important job. All right? And it's crazy that shit is happening. I guess there's pros and cons to all of this. The AI, lots of pros. The more efficient, more it can do things quicker. It can help you with things. Downside, it can take jobs. What if it impersonates him so well that it just defeats the purpose of having him around? And what does that say about the rest of us? Because he's like the Secretary of State. It's not like up there, but it's close to up there. It's one of those like you thought it was just going to be driving jobs or manufacturing jobs or factory jobs that are going to this is coming after everybody. The beauty of it is, I guess we could all be it's hard. It's going to be hard to tell the truth. That's going to be kind of the downside. The beauty of it is you can use it as a personal tool for yourself to impersonate people as well if you need to. If I had this technology when I was in school, I would have probably used it to impersonate my parents at points. If ever there was a time needed to, have a little sit down with the parentals, I would have sat down and probably, made fake phone calls or, just signed paperwork using AI to make it look as if I would have done that. I would for sure have done that. And grown-ups, you can totally give yourself a raise. Impersonate your boss giving yourself a raise. Just like have an email sent out from your boss's email saying, you deserve the best raise, get the best raise. Or write an incriminating email, thanking you on your boss's behalf for the head that you gave him or her. Thank you for the nice blowjob. Here's a raise. Sincerely, your boss. Send it out to yourself, and then you got a raise. And then take that document and be like, oh, I need a raise right now. And they'll be like, we don't give out raises for just do a regular way. Like, but yeah, but look at the boss mate. Or make a video. Make a video of your boss holding that signed piece of paper saying my employee deserves a raise because I pissed in his or her mouth. And that's the kind of boss I am. That's the kind of relationship that I've got going on with this guy or gal. So you could do all sorts of amazing things with it. This is just the beginning, of course, and we'll see. The sky's the limit. That's what they say. And right around, that was Nazi Grok, 4th version. Wait till fucking I don't even know what comes after Nazis. Jesus. Who cares? It doesn't matter. The point is, you could use it to benefit. And if the dumb Houthis wearing flip-flops are using it to run their operations, I'm sure you can get some usage out of it too. Start selling some items online. Do it today. The point is, the point is, a lot of people were asking, is it cool to share a douche? I've got a douche that I like to use to wash out my vagina. Is it cool to share the douche with other individuals? Yes. Whether it's other family members, friends, loved ones, acquaintances, anybody who comes over, if they're staying over, if they want to use your shower and use your douche, it is completely natural. It's completely normal. If you're like, I've got a douche, should my mother use my douche to wash her vag? Yes, she could. Why not? Why go spend money on multiple douches when you can just get one douche, get all the usage out of it, and then buy another one? You're like, what about my roommates? If I'm living in college campus, could I've got a bunch of girlfriends. There's 4 of us in a apartment. Could we all use one douche? I don't see why you should go out and buy different douches. All of you should probably douche at the same time. Help each other douche. A friend with douche is a friend worth having. That's written on stone somewhere. You gotta just look for it, or just take my word for it. You don't need to go actually find the word on the stone. I gotta find everything, look it up. Wasting time. Please don't do that. But yes, the short answer, yes. Could you be that friend that says, no, it's my douche, it's only going in my vagina? You could totally be selfish. You could totally be selfish and worry about things like hygiene or germs or different pH levels mixing. You're using water, soap, detergents, whatever, to rinse it out. All right, rinse it. You rinsed it out already. You wash it. You just just dry it off properly and then hand it over to your friend. It'll be fine. It'll be good for you to get different pH levels and germs and just different and that way all of you could share it. 4 of you living in one house could share one scent. Talking about smells, because all of you will share the scent of your vaginas with each other, which will concoct one particular scent made up of all your different vaginas, and that'll be your mutual shared scent because you're sharing this one douche. And that is another pro for this particular thing that you want to do. So there's pros and cons to everything. So there you go. Fucking share the douche. Save money, get a cool scent, be friendly, thoughtful, cordial, inviting, saying yes. Not one of these douche hogs who's always like, oh, my douche is my douche. Don't use my douche. And what about male friends or family members? Could they? Yes, they could use it too. Of course. Why not? Just because they don't have full-blown vaginas doesn't mean that they can't use it to douche up their ass. So there you go. And that too will add more scent, more camaraderie, and bring the whole unit closer together. So to answer your beautiful question, thank you for asking. Yes, you can share the douche. It's not just meant for you and you by yourself out there. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, lastly, I'd like to just say this, that I've realize it's summertime, and even if it wasn't, I probably would have come up with this idea at one point or another. I know a lot of people are a huge fan of camel toes. Obviously, if you are a fan, remain a fan. Don't do anything. You're good to go. If you're a fan of the vaginas and camel toes, oftentimes you'd like to see more of them, but you'd also like them to kind of be low-key hidden, which is why I decided to come up with the idea of introducing camel toe flage. It's camouflage, but for camel toes. Essentially, all attire will be you'll get a printout of shirts and pants that have multiple arrangements of camel toes displayed on them. A t-shirt just filled with different camel toes, pants, dresses also covered in camel toe print, hence camouflaging the actual camel toe. And the area where your actual camel toe is, there could be a cutout. We could cut it out. We'll cut it out for you. There'll be like a hole for your camel toe, and you'll be walking around, and again, your top, your bottom will be all covered in camel toe, creating what? Camel toe flage. Nobody will be able to actually distinguish which one of these camel toes is your camel toe. And there you go. You could, at the same time, 2 things can be true. You could both be exposing yourself and disguising and or covering yourself at the same time. With that being said, goodbye for now, and I'll be back again on Wednesday. Get out of here. Peace out.